Doom is going.
It says we're live right now.
Yes,
on
it
yours?
does.
Okay.
Yep.
Any second.
And you've got the marker.
The marker?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
There we go.
Would you like me to use it?
Yeah.
Let
Now.
me check the volume.
Okay.
Okay, we're good.
Cool.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, action.
Action.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Coaching Over Coffee. From left to right, you have Coach Ryan, you have Coach KC, I'm Coach Dan, and today we have our extremely special guest, someone who has he's grinning ear to ear. This is actually a podcast we've been talking about behind the scenes that we couldn't wait to have him on as a guest. An incredible story, and also one of the brightest, we can all agree, one of the brightest faces that we see when he comes in here, no matter what time he walks through the doors today. Give it up for the great and powerful Steve Johnson, everybody.
He's clapping for
clap for
himself.
himself.
You may
I love
clap
it.
for yourself.
Best intro ever.
Make it clap.
So you were our recent Transformation Tuesday, and you were a participant in the Choose to Change 6 Weeks Challenge. Give everybody a little bit of background about yourself and what brought you through the doors of the gym.
Who is Steve Johnson?
Oh boy. How much time do we have?
45 minutes.
I only need 30 seconds. All right. So my oldest daughter, Michaela, obviously has been coming to the gym for, many years.
Yeah.
And subtly, she's always like, Dad, you would like the gym. You should try the gym. And of course, I was eating chips or whatever I was eating, watching TV or whatever. And it didn't seem like a great idea. Then, you get comfortable doing what you're doing, and, you don't really want to get out of that comfort box. So then my wife did the last challenge, and she was getting out of bed every morning at 4:30 in the morning, and then she was coming back, and I would, roll out of bed, and she would be, clicking her heels and really in a good mood. And so now this next challenge came up, and my other kids obviously had come here too. So I had never heard a bad thing about the gym. I'd only heard, positive things. So then this this challenge came up, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna give it a try. And so the week before the challenge, I said, I better go check this out and see what I'm signing up to for 6 weeks. And so I went in the first day, and it was awesome. It's really, really good.
Are you going to tell this story?
Well, Ryan escorted me out. I had a personal escort.
Escorted out in a good way.
Well, no, it was a very humbling experience. I didn't expect to come in here and be able to do everything. And,
Yeah.
And it's been a long time since I, moved my body in those ways.
This story actually is probably top 3 in my career.
Yeah.
It just sticks out. It's so vivid for me.
I don't even remember what happened.
Okay. You want me to tell?
Go, yeah. I could go
Reader's
play.
Digest version, we first day coming in, we're super cautious about what you're doing. We're kind of checking in. Steve, how are you? He's giving thumbs up. He's tough guy. Thumbs up again. Next time we're almost done. And I have 2 clients, and I'm off to the side. And it's like, Steve, I'm so proud of you. The words came out of my mouth. His hand goes up to his face and sprays vomit all over.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But it gets
remember.
better, and he takes a couple more steps, and it's still coming out. And then, a couple minutes later, we're going to go check in on you, and I see Steve with his shirt off in the bathroom, wiping himself down, and he comes back out. And I say that story because I'm always cautious, and I want to see what type of person that person is. It's either going to show up and you're going to be motivated, or you're going to not show up and be discouraged. And you showed up every single day since.
Yeah. No, it was.
I have a question, though.
Yeah.
Why? What was the thing that made it click for you that, hey, I want to do this now?
I guess the fact of working out for an hour and getting sick was sort of a eye-awakening thing. It's I can't do something for an hour and not physically get ill.
Yeah.
It's how much longer am I going to be here? Yeah, type thing.
Sure.
And so when you look at the people around you, You know, and it goes back to some of the books that we read during the challenge, you know, surrounding yourself by good people. I'm blessed to be around great people in my family every day.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, when you think of inspiration, it's like, okay, I'm going to go get a pint of ice cream. Oh, wait, my son's out running 15 miles today. And you know what? Michaela's doing this, and Heather's doing this, and Molly's doing this. And it's like, all right, well, maybe I should do something. Because, you know, these guys are cool, and I want to be here for a long time. And, you know, so that was sort of the motivation. But, like, I don't take my shirt off at the beach, and to have to walk across the gym, you know, bare-chested with you next to me because I've got a shirt that's just soaked, and it's all water. It's not like
Sure.
it's, you know,
It wasn't
I
piled full of
didn't
vomit.
have Chinese food before I came.
Yeah.
Just water. But, you know, I had to walk all the way across the gym, and it was just like, wow. But, you know, nobody, you know, pointed, and nobody cared.
Yeah.
So I went and I put my sweatshirt on, and I got into the stretch thing, and I went and I stretched because I think you taught the class the first day. And it was, you know, the goal always became to, hey, get through the class, walk out the door,
Right.
you know, and pace yourself because, you know, in my mind, I'm still a 20-year-old athlete.
Yep.
You know, I'm still very fast, and you guys know I'm not, but I've got to
In your brain, you know you're
myself
not.
this,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's part of the learning process, and you know, I think I said, you know, my biggest fear was getting injured and not being able to do it, and you know, throughout my athletic career, that was always the constant. It's like, hey, I'm getting to a point that's I want to be, and then I broke my ankle. Oh, I separated my shoulder, and after so many times of like getting knocked down, it's like, you know what? I don't need to do this anymore. My body's beat up. But then when you start doing it and you feel better, and it's like, oh, you know what? It's not really beat up. I'm only halfway done with life, not three-quarters. You know?
Yeah.
So that's perspective. You know, your perspective changes.
Yeah. Will you talk about your athletic career? I don't know anything about it.
I got injured a lot.
What did you do? What sport?
So I started cross country.
Okay.
I always played basketball. Basketball was my favorite sport. Freshman year of high school, I was 120 pounds, 6'3".
So Yogi.
Yogi, I was going to say, yeah.
So I ran cross country, and I was 7th in the state for freshmen because everybody ran the wrong direction in the race. So I was the only one to go the right direction. So I came out of the woods, and you know, all the coaches are like, "What did you do to the other competitors? You know, what's going on here?" Because I came out at 6:30, my split. They should have been out at 5. The fast guys caught me at the end, and but then I gained like 20 pounds every year. So then I switched to. I always played basketball, so AAU back then. And then I switched to football from cross country, and then I went to. We lost in the semifinal states for basketball my senior year, and the state championship for football. So that was tough. But I would like separate my shoulder. It was constant injury. Then I went to Springfield College to play football, and I separated my shoulder, you know, halfway through the season. And I just got to the point where, you know what, I'm done playing sports.
Yeah.
And that's my athletic career in a nutshell.
Okay.
So
No, how like you're listing off all the injuries. It's like you have people who will sit at home who've gotten injured, who that is their excuse for like being done. Like did you kind of let that settle in for way too long before making the decision to take the step to get healthy?
yeah, and even coming here, there was days where I could have justified, hey, I'm injured. You know, like my calf muscle seized up, and you know this hurts, and my ankle's messed up.
Why'd you keep going?
Because you guys like always adapted to, okay, well, we'll make the adjustment. You don't have to do this exercise. You can do this exercise.
Sure.
You know, and you guys always were asking and having you weigh in, you know, to see. So the option, you didn't really have to quit. You know, there was a path forward rather than an excuse to stop, you know. So I think that was really important.
Rewind 6 weeks. I mean, let's talk about results. Let's talk about you lost how much weight in 6 weeks?
A little over 40 pounds.
Okay, so we lost 40 pounds, which is super cool. Take away the number on the scale and the results from the scale. What are some of the wins that you learned about yourself in the past 6 weeks?
Like the biggest thing, you know, the
big, small.
The weight really didn't matter to me that much. It was like the resting heart rate. to go from like 76 beats a minute to like 50, you know? So it's like my heart has to work so much less throughout the day.
Yeah.
So if I got X amount of beats, I got
Left.
I just gained that much time.
Yeah.
You know, and going up and down my stairs, you know, I don't have to put both hands up. I mean, I was over 300 pounds, like, you know, not that long ago. So, I mean, I started 20 pounds down when I started coming here.
Yeah.
But just, you know, feeling better, not like sweating like all the time. Just,
Yeah.
you know, just you feel better, you know.
I think one of the biggest things that I've seen is the glow and the pride in your family's face when we talk about him, right? When you say like, hey, you know, hey Mac, like your dad's really killing it. Or like you and Yogi working out together and Yogi pushing you a little bit. Or even watching, and I always say it, when you're doing like a push-up or something, I'll say to Heather, I was like, yeah, and she's like, there's lust in my eyes watching you. Yeah. I think that is a huge win for me to see because of how big of an influence that you've made just because of the commitment that you made. So props to you for that.
I think one of the cool parts at the beginning of the challenge, and mind you, like you were in the class when your first class when the incident happened. We'll call it the incident.
We've all had an incident.
Yeah, we've all yes, like numerous ones for some of us, and sleds. But the intro class in which you and Yogi and Uncle Jim were in it, and it's like right off the rip, you three exuded positivity. Like you all pushed each other, and that was something that right off the bat I was like, oh, this is going to be long term. Like this isn't just like they're coming in to get healthy for a little bit. It's like you could tell that all three of you were driven. And I mean, you know, that was one of the teams that, you know, always had their pictures in for their walk, and it was like it was almost like, weirdly enough, Reservoir Dogs are like this little gang walking in every morning at 5 a.m. or 5:30, or like if you were doing a spin class at 5 a.m., I knew like, oh, 4:30 or 5:30, I'm going to see them in the afternoon, and they're going to be just as happy and chipper. And it was an amazing sight to see. And for me, it started at that one intro class where I was like, okay, like this is going to be fun to watch. And it was. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Well, it was a lot of fun too. And when you asked about like athletic career, I always prided myself on trying to be the best teammate I could possibly be. So if I was playing basketball, I wanted to get every rebound. I wanted to set every screen. I wanted to do everything that nobody else wanted to do.
Yeah.
Right. And so on this, I got to be teammates with Jimmy, my son, and my wife. So it's like I've always valued teammates so much. And, you know, you're at teams at work and different things, but to have that core team to, like, all jump in the car at, like, 4:45 and it's like, all right, let's go. And, like, we're laughing on the way to the gym, you know, and just, like, you know, and so, you know, and laughing on the way home, you know. So it was such a blessing to have that awesome team to – you didn't really have an option. You didn't want to not go, you know. It was awesome once you got here, but it was awesome going and, you know, working as a team on the meals and everything.
Where do you have that, like, camaraderie in life, though? And it's not even, let's just say it's your family. Let's just say it's, like, random friends or strangers. Like, you guys are all powering through for a common goal. Like, where do you do that? Sometimes I think it's just for money. You know, you do it in your jobs, like you said.
Sure.
You know, but where else could you, you know, put yourself in a position, motivate and inspire, lead, be a great teammate? And I when you said that, the first thing I thought of was Yogi. When you train him for soccer.
Yep.
You guys, a lot of you guys nobody knows this story. I'm playing golf one day. I don't even know if you know this story. I'm playing golf, and I look over, and I'm on the first hole, and I see a kid running, and it's Yogi. And I yelled to him, I was like, Yogi, is that you? And he's like, he stops, and he comes over. I said, what are you doing? He goes, we just got done with a game. Everybody else is at Martha's eating ice cream. I decided to go for a run. And I came in and I told you that, and I was like, wow.
He went with the team and then ran home from Martha's.
Yeah, which I thought was very, very, like, this kid's driven. But you could see it in practice. You could see it in the weight room. He was always that person trying to lead, inspire, motivate, not just through rah-rah, but it was through action. Right. And I think he got that from you, which is...
Well, and his mom, too. She works hard.
Yeah.
She's a hard worker.
So Jen Vadansky actually, because I can now see comments on this thing, which is pretty dope, said that, Steve, you are such an inspiration and congrats. And it's like, I think that that's the other thing from this challenge that a lot of people have seen is like the nod from your peers when they see the transformation themselves, especially people who've been here like Jen or others for years and have won or done challenges. To see someone else come up it's
rewarding.
It's very rewarding.
Well, and that's the cool thing too, because I knew a lot of the people, but I didn't. You don't really know somebody till you see like sweat coming out of their nose.
At 5 o'clock in the morning,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? It's like everybody's here, but everybody's here to feel better. You know what I mean? And the best part of the day, to be honest with you, is when we do laps at the beginning, because I get to say good morning to everybody as they run past me. You know? and so, like, when
You got to go the wrong way.
Well, when you run on the outside of the track, it's like 4 times as long. So I always run on the outside so everybody else can pass it. So, but it's like everybody's just, hey, good morning. How's everybody doing? And it's just like, you know, the whole camaraderie of that challenge between like Jim and Juice and Team Crafty, all the like plotting that we did on the way to the challenge, and none of us really cared. Like halfway through the challenge, we look at each other when we're doing our team walk, and it's like, you guys know, like we all won, like we're winning right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so it was, but it was just so fun with the banter and like the going back and forth. And you know, Carla, she got hurt, but you know, she was my sled buddy. We're like racing the sleds down this thing, and it's like, it's almost like an adult gym class in some ways that nobody graduates from. So if you get hurt from a little bit, you can come back, and it's just, you know, there's no pressure. It's just a great feeling in the morning, you know.
Where does your positivity come from? Like, has it always been like that since you were young? Was it there and then it faded and then it came back? Because we always talk. I mean, I think these two have already mentioned it. Like every time you come in, it's just like, I think I said it on your Transformation Tuesday post, like light up a room instantly.
Well, it's like, I mean, I'm just so thankful. I mean, to be here, I mean, I'm a religious person. You know, I believe in God. I know not everybody does, and that's fine. But, somebody else always has it worse. You know, so no matter how bad you think that it is, somebody else has got it worse. So who am I to say, you know, my stubbed toe is worse than your heart attack, so you need to be sad for me? And it's like, well, no, you know what? My stub toe is not that bad. I got another toe. Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's like, what do you have? Not what are you missing?
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, it's the glass is half full to another level. The glass is totally full and overflowing.
Yeah. Okay.
And you know what? If you need some, here's some, and you know, and that's just the way you try to be. You know?
I like that. What do you have? Not what are you missing?
Yeah.
I'm gonna remember that.
Yeah. So.
So part of the challenge, we required or offered points to read certain books. What books did you read?
We read Green Lights and How to Think Like a Monk.
Okay. And give some lessons that you took away from both books.
Because
it's not a physical transformation. I think we wanted to kind of condition and positively brainwash you a little bit.
Well, and that was the nice part, to be honest with you, because there was so many dynamics of the challenge. It's like, oh, we're reading books and we're coordinating with other people to go walk at certain times.
Yeah.
And there's more to it than just
losing weight.
I need to lose weight.
Yeah.
You know, it's team building too.
Yep.
You know, so the Green Lights book, the accepting the challenge is the win. It's not if you win or lose. You win by accepting the challenge and trying new things.
Yeah.
That was the big thing from that one.
Did you listen to it or read it?
We listened to it.
Yeah.
My wife and I listened to it at bedtime. That was like our bedtime story time.
His voice is very, very soothing, engaging. Like, you love to listen to him narrate the book.
Yeah. No,
it's Matthew McConaughey, if anybody doesn't know.
Yeah, he's a great storyteller.
Yeah.
Great storyteller. And to be honest with you, a lot of the things, other than being, you know, super famous and great actor and all those things, like, lined up with a lot of the ways that I lived my life. You know, it's like, I'm ready for the challenge. Oh, hey, we're switching gears and we're going this way. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm always up for, you know, change.
Yeah.
You know? So, and then the Think Like a Monk was good. The part I liked about that one was just taking time to reflect. And that's like a really important thing of being positive too, is self-reflection, constant self-reflection. Like going home and like, I could have tried that last push-up until like I fell down, or I could have stopped maybe too shy. And like I would kick myself when I'd go home. Like the next time I'm gonna do that, but it's a fine line because I don't want to hurl all over the place.
Sure.
So it's like,
I have a question when it comes to that. How many people do you think go through their life thinking that way?
which way?
The negative way. Oh, I should have stopped. No one actually really wants to push themselves to be outside that comfort zone, where some people actually crave discomfort and growth.
Well, I think comfort is just being stagnant a lot of times.
Sure.
You know, you become comfort in whatever it is, and
Yeah.
you stop looking around. Your whole perspective becomes clouded because you're in the fog,
Yeah.
right? What percentage of people? I mean, I think that people have the ability to change gears too. I mean, everybody's been in a funk. How do you get out of a funk? How do you get somebody else out of a funk? You know, those are really important things. By being in the funk, you're able to help other people out of the funk, and you know, I think better.
Yeah.
You know, and there's you know, that makes you feel good.
Sure.
You know? So I forget what the question was. I'm rambling, but
What percentage of people, or not what percentage, but why do you think the mass percentage of people don't crave discomfort and growth? Like you said, self-reflection, how many of us will actually push to do better next time instead of just patting ourselves on the back saying that we just showed up?
well, it's easy. It's the path. You could take the easy path, or you could take, you know.
But why do people do that? Is my biggest question. Because you don't have that in your blood.
Right.
So why do you think people do?
Why do they want to take the easy path?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's ingrained. I think it's you're either born with it or you're not. Like
Yeah.
when you run a lap around a field, do you cut the corner or do you run around the far edge? It's what you do when nobody's watching, right? Right? I mean,
Somebody get this guy a hoodie. He's got to work.
right?
He's got to work with us.
no, but the challenge, like I said, it was awesome on so many levels. The nutrition part of it, where
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I lost so much weight.
Sure.
I became comfortable. I haven't been hungry in 20 years because I eat before I get hungry.
Yeah.
And I ate whatever I wanted. And this was like, okay, that's a discipline part of it now. And when you take a discipline in one aspect, you can carry that discipline into other aspects. The push-ups become easier to push through when it's like, I didn't eat those things that I really thought I wanted, but you know, I'm better off by not having, you know. So
Now, aspects outside of the gym as you were going through the challenge, were there tasks that you noticed at home or at work that you felt like things were getting easier and it was kind of clicking like, oh, the more I do this, the better I feel outside of here?
well, that comes down to like the teamwork thing, especially being in the same house with, you know, three of the members, where it's like, oh, hey, the dishes are full, or there's nothing prepped for tomorrow. And you want to do that because that's what you can do. Somebody else is tired from work, or somebody else has a test tomorrow. It's like, well, that's what I can do right now. I can plug the hole in the ship here.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be somebody's specific job, but you're always looking to help out, and it's not any different than when you're on a sports team.
Yeah.
You know, some of these people that come to the gym played sports together in high school, and that like boggles my mind because I'm not from here.
Yeah.
But if I could have like some of my buddies that I played with come and work out in the morning, I mean, that's how awesome is that?
Yeah. You're right.
I mean, and you don't have to think about it. You have the coaches that are lining everything up.
Yeah.
I would never think to do a lot of these exercises.
Those relationships I think you build in sports, that's where I think sports are so important for the youth these days, because you develop so many friendships, but a lot of learning lessons to make you better as an adult. Like you learned camaraderie, you learned, you know, teamwork, how to be coachable. You learned that how to do the extra and that competitive nature that a lot of us have that really drives you to not be complacent.
Right.
Yeah.
You gotta wanna win, right? You don't have to win, but you gotta wanna win. You gotta wanna try to be the best, even though you know you're not gonna be.
Sure.
But that was one thing you guys said last week about like the jack of all trades versus, you know, and the master of none. And I've always embraced like learning as many different things as I possibly can. I have so many different passions of you know, whether it's stamp collecting or coin collecting or boomeranging, or I'm always up for whatever, because so many people become experts at so many different things. And I think you can appreciate them more if you try them out.
Yeah.
You know, and so everybody doesn't have to be a perfect boomerang thrower. You know, you might be a you know, a musician or whatever it may be. And, variety is the spice of life. All these different things and all these different passions, they make you better in whatever it is that you're pursuing by seeing somebody else mastering their craft.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So.
Okay, fast forward to, say, September, we do another challenge. What advice would you give to someone that might have been in the same position that you were in 6 weeks ago?
When they bring out those little green disc things, nothing good is going to happen. Those things should be rounded
sliders.
up and thrown off a cliff.
Oh, the sliders?
Yeah, evil green things, I call them. No, I would say do it. There's no pressure. There's no time constraints. Just do it and embrace it and trust the process. That's one thing that, a lot of times we feel like we know better. Like even when, okay, I'm done with phase 3 for my last phase 3 and now I'm off the diet. Well, I can do this and this. And I'm not a nutrition expert. I wasn't before and I'm not now.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So let me follow that guide. But I would say embrace it and embrace all aspects of it. And grab some people that you want to get to know better or that you've, maybe distanced yourself from that you want to reconnect with, that maybe have a common goal, because that's something that you take from the challenge above and beyond any of the weight loss or the getting in shape and feeling better and that type of thing is like the relationships with the people. Because there's people that, like you say, I brighten up the room. As soon as I walk in, I see a big smile and I'm like, oh, these people are happy, they're grinning,
Some.
Yeah.
Some. I have one question, kind of like final question at 7:15 in a minute. We gotta wrap it up. What's next for Steve Johnson?
Ooh.
What's next for him on his bucket list, his list of accomplishments? What does he want to tackle? What are we going to see from Steve in the next 6 weeks? What are we going to see from Steve in the next 6 months or the next year?
Yeah, I'm just going to show up every day, and accept the challenges as they show up. That's I'm looking forward to when they do another challenge and bringing somebody else new in, because it's almost like, a gift is given to me by like, oh, hey, you can go do this in the morning, you'll feel better, and different aspects of your life will benefit. I want to sort of give that to somebody else,
Yeah.
And like in Jimmy's defense, when I did that first week, I told him all about my first day, and he still chose to sign up. So that
he's crazy,
yeah,
right?
So I knew he was going to be all in. But yeah, get a group of people that it'll be awesome. It will be.
We call them accountability buddies.
Yeah.
Accountability buddies. Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody want to end anything?
Nicole Doyle said, "Keep showing up, Steve. You are awesome." So
She's awesome.
I do have something. This might be a little bit behind the scenes. You mentioned, like we mention her all the time, Mac. About, I'd like to say 2 weeks during the challenge, she walked up and showed me a particular video of Dad's dance skills in the kitchen.
Oh, really?
Yes, she did. I just want first off.
Oh, really?
First off, you're a smooth dancer.
Thank you.
But I just want you to know that one of the positive aspects of it is what you're doing and showing positively for your kids. And I think that that's something that, gets lost, is that you as a parent are setting a great example for your kids. And you have, like you said, all the excuses to be injured. And instead you showed up every day. And it's like, that is the memory that they're going to have of their dad, not the dad sitting on the couch. And
Sure.
for me, that is one of the coolest things to see come out of this challenge. And I'm not saying follow Yogi on a 10-mile run or something, but I can't wait to see what you guys do as a family next.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
That's one of the great adventures.
Absolutely.
Anybody want to close with anything?
I'm good.
All right. So, Steve, thank you for coming in
Thanks,
on
Steve.
this
You're the best for
beautiful
having us.
Saturday morning. Ladies and gentlemen, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, The Gym 518. Follow us on all of our individual pages. Share this episode with someone that you feel would find value in it, because Steve's story is an absolutely amazing one. And somewhere out there is the next Steve Johnson. Even though we only have one, thank God, and he's ours, there's always the opportunity to have another one. For Coach Ryan, for Coach KC, for Steve, this is Coach Dan. Enjoy your weekend, everybody.
I
Thank
have
you.
one thing to add.
Okay, add.
Wednesday, February 28th, we're doing a fundraiser here at the gym for South High Marathon Dance, 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. We're going to have group classes, we're going to have spin classes and other raffle baskets and things like that. Classes are free, but there's a $10 entry. So please stop by. Theme is glow night. So should be pretty fun.
All right.
What about the other part? Saturday.
Oh, Saturday, March 2nd.
we're
Thank
not
you.
there yet.
There was an entire thing. Saturday, March 2nd, open house here at the gym from 8 to 10 a.m.
We'll have a bunch of vendors. They'll have giveaways. We'll do free classes, free spin.
It's going to be
Just
amazing.
Come get to know everybody.
Absolutely. Look for that coming up on social medias, all of ours. Once again, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Steve, for coming out.
Thanks for having me.
Enjoy your weekend.
Great job, Steve.
Nice job, Steve.
I was just really listening
take
and
notes.
taking it all in.
Yeah.